Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Convention with the Weekly Comic Book Roundup. We've covered this week's X-Men and Avengers titles. Now it's time to keep on trucking. And we'll kick things off with Miles Morales' Spider-Man number 5. Where we left off, while fighting Rabble, Miles realized that his family was also a target. Went to save them, and upon arriving, well, their brownstone blew up. Meanwhile, Misty Knight, who has taken Miles under her wing to a degree, was helping to rescue Starling and Gank from from having been captured by Rabble. So Miles sees his family's brownstone having just exploded, but he is still able to save his family. Miles and Rabble duke it out. Misty saves both Starling and Gank, who are able to and who managed to do some help with disrupting Rabble's plans from her base. But that said, Rabble's suit is burning her out. Miles does what he can to stop her, but, well, that all combined, the fact that her suit's burning her out, combined with the fact that she's dedicated to destroying Miles and his family, well, yeah, doesn't go well for her. And Miles promptly passes out. Comes to at with Night Nurse, and Misty's managed to get the Moraleses put up somewhere. Elsewhere, Agent Gao is interrogating Scorpion. About his recent disappearing act and offering him a job. And that is where the issue ends. But we're not done with Miles just yet. Admittedly, our next book does not have a heavy focus on him, but at least not till the end. Honestly, this first arc was a solid arc. I'm really enjoying the whole dynamic between Miles and Misty. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Carnage number 12. Where we left off, Kenneth Neely had returned to Earth and happened upon the orphanage that Cletus Cassie was raised in, and where his spirit seems to have taken up residence. Kenneth tells Cletus what's been going on with Carnage, and well, Cletus reveals that he's still bonded to the symbiote Extremis dragon, and well, yeah. So we begin in issue in Todd's Diner in Brooklyn. Apparently, Cletus is famished. And Kenneth asks one of the busboys if the name Cletus Cassie means anything to him. And he says, "You mean Carnage, right?" Basically showing that Kenneth's trying to show Cletus that that's how he's. Nobody thinks of it as Cletus Cassidy, who got a symbiote, so much as just Carnage. And that sets Cletus off. Elsewhere, the Carnage symbiote is seems to be interested in bonding with Detective Shade, and so goes through his memories, including a memory of from when he was a younger cop, a younger detective at least. His old partner, he and his old partner went to talk to Wilson Fisk, as apparently within 48 hours 4 state's witnesses had been murdered, all of whom were to testify against Fisk. Shade's partner knows that Fisk was behind it, but they can't prove it. Shade says they're going to take Kingpin and Fisk down. They got to do it right. Apparently, though, his partner, stereotypical way, drank, got divorced. Yeah. Back at the diner, the busboy that set Carnage off, just trying to call the police, and Kenneth stops him from doing so. However, Carnage insists that he actually make the call. Meanwhile, at St. Anne's Orphanage, police are investigating a missing streamer who was last reported there. Also investigating it is Miles Morales. But the officers investigating receive a call about a possible hostage situation at a diner. Cletus makes his presence known, tossing out one of the bodies of one of his victims onto the police car, having cut into the deceased's back. Carnage rules. Miles sees this and just says, "No, not him. Anyone but him." And that is where the issue ends. And this will be continued clearly in Carnage Reigns Alpha next month. I believe next month. Could be later this month. We'll see. Okay, things are. I do notice that, at least in the case of this issue of Carnage, Ram V is not credited as writer. I hope that means he's not off the book, because he kind of helps keep the book be as good as it is. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Marvel Voices Spider-Verse, celebrating the diversity within the Spider-Verse. Not just the Spider-Man's supporting characters, but the various Spider-Man variants throughout the multiverse. So we've got a handful of stories. Got a Miles story. It's his mom's birthday. He's trying to get her, and he's informed that his dad kind of tells him a little truth about dealing with women. When a woman says that she doesn't want anything for her gift-giving occasion, that is more that, at least in the case of Miles' mother, shouldn't generalize after all. In the case of Miles' mother, there are things she wants, but she doesn't, but it kind of not wanting to make anyone feel like they have to get them for her. But Miles sees a doll that is reminiscent of a doll that apparently his mother had growing up. Buys it at a thrift shop. Getting home, though, everything. Saves a dog from getting hit by a car, stops a mugging, helps people from a fire. and the doll gets damaged. Returns home, gives his mom her gift, and they have a happy birthday dinner. Next, we've got Webweaver from Earth of 71490. He's at Fire Island. This is the third time he's been invited, but keeps flaking. Basically, being Webweaver causes him to, have to do other stuff instead, such as the previous year, saving Janet Van Dyne from her ex-husband Hank Pym and his giant ants. And the year before that, dealing with Gwen Stacy, the living vampire. But someone's watching Webweaver from the shadows. That someone is Kraven the Hunter, who's basically designed a task to see if he's worthy prey, see if Webweaver's worthy prey or not. Basically, going after knickknacks that are involved with Webweaver's other enemies: Electro Bomb, Ock Arms, Sandman, Hydro Man, and Venom. However, with Venom, she ends up crashing a drag show, which leads to Webweaver and the performers, as well as the audience, not being too happy with Kraven, and so she gets webbed up while the show continues. Next, we have a story featuring Silk. Basically, she's feeling overwhelmed and too connected to everything, and it's wreaking havoc, and she's having issues with occasionally passing out, and she's basically just needing to disconnect for a while. And she does so and enjoys a little bit of meditation on one of New York's bridges. Next up, we've got Spider-Punk, Battle of the Bands at the Daily Bugle, which is a music venue on Earth 138, owned, of course, by J. Jonah Jameson. First, when the Spider Band arrives, well, one band, Manwolf, is finishing up. They happen to be fronted by the owner's son, which then brings the next band, though, is the Sinister Six-Piece. Scorpion, Electro, White Rabbit, Doc Ock, Sandman, and Beetle. The Janice Lincoln version, but it's a Basically, they've got their gears set up for hypnotism to get their audience members to basically give them money. Riot Heart, however, comes up, puts something together that blocks the signal, and Spider-Punk deals with the Sinister Six-Piece, getting some backup from the Spider Band as well. And the story ends with them taking the stage. We've also got a character spotlight page with featuring other Spideys. Webweaver, obviously. Old Man Logan, Spider-Woman. Spider-Bite. Shift. Spider, Penny Parker. Spinstress. Spider UK. And Spider Smasher. Next up, we've got what is that one? Working It Out, which introduces a new spider. Spider of Earth CH110. Peter Park, the Spider Friend. Basically, Earth CH-10 is sitcom Earth. It's Friends, with the cast including Peter's friends, Anthony Stark, Harry Osborn, Mary Jane Watson, and Pepper Pot. Pepper Stark Potts. But he's constantly late for their get-togethers. They often meet up at May's diner. Which Peter used to work at. At Andy's totally not Star Trek themed birthday party, well, Vulture shows up, and so Spider-Friend leaps into duty and stops Anthony from being attacked by the Vulture. Though it turns out that Vulture was hired to kill Anthony by Harry's father, Norman. Peter goes back to the diner, tells May what's happened, and once again goes back to calling May Mom. And that is where the story ends. We also have a brief interview with the writer and creator of Spider-Friend. We got another Miles Morales story. This one training with some, not real world, but basic training in a controlled environment between Miles and Misty Knight. However, Miles has to babysit too, so. But the fact that he's doing so and is trying to make it work, including making a little jumper thingy out of webbing for Billy. After he has to change a diaper, Misty gets an idea, and the two of them go to a diner, and near where Misty lives, and she's trying to impart upon him the idea that, yes, taking care of your neighbor is good, but, the idea is that you can't let yourself forget why you're doing it. And that is where the story ends. Which then brings us to Recluse. On Recluse's Earth, Maxwell Dillon, billionaire tech industrialist, basically runs things. And with his spider nanotech, SPYDER, everyone's pretty much connected, and to it feels even more like they're somewhat controlled. However, Recluse's health issues had a strange interaction with the spider injection and gave her spider powers. But she ends up fighting Maxwell Dillon, defeats him, and is asked by Captain America, and is recruited by Captain America to help with something. And Cap on that Earth is as corny and cheesy as you can possibly imagine. Finally, we've got ourselves a Ghost Spider story. So the Mary Janes are rehearsing, but Gwen's having trouble getting the beat for their song. She goes to stop a bank robbery. Basically the beat of her hits of her hitting the robbers gives her the beat she's been looking for. And that is where the issue ends. I enjoy the Spider-Verse, and this is a fun little one-shot. Marvel puts out Voices one-shots fairly often. I don't often pick them up, in part just because they're on the pricier side. So, and sometimes it seems almost like most times when one comes out, it's on a week when there's already a lot to cover, so these fall by the wayside. But I may have to get back to look into getting more of them when they come out. Moving on though to our next book, we've got Star Wars Bounty Hunters number 33. Where we left off, Tonga and Losha's crew had rescued Valance and had basically had been, and the Empire had sicked Inferno Squad on them. So also, the Edgehawk has had its hyperdrive damaged. The Edgehawk is landed on the black market spaceport of Depatar. On the far side of the planet, the Inferno Squad is going over who Valance has fallen in with. Valance may or may not have a large amount of high-level Imperial intelligence that he shouldn't be in possession of. And it's explained that the crew is professional and unflappable. Right before we cut to Bosk and Valance trying to kill each other. Tassie Leech and 4LOM break it up. Tonga gives everyone tasks. Losha, Zuckuss, and Tassu are to fix the damage to the exterior from when they were hit with an asteroid, while Bosk and Valance have to fix the damage to the inside. 4LOM will be helping Tonga with getting the part they need. The one place that has said part is being staked out by Inferno Squad, though. On Corellia, the Unbroken Clan fortress, Bakura shows up, knowing that the rest of the clan means to kill her. And she's just like, fine, whatever. However, there's a bounty on her and all members of the Unbroken Clan. And one bounty hunter is trying to collect the bounties. IG-88. Zuckuss, 4LOM and Tonga are ambushed by Inferno Squad. 4LOM is promptly taken down, basically with a equivalent of a restraining bolt. The leader of Inferno Squad and Tonga duke it out. It's actually a pretty decent fight, but Tonga loses. 4LOM and the Edgehawk is now staked out by Inferno Squad, and though Zuckuss has a bad feeling, though Losha points out it could just be the after effects of his recent seizure, and Zuckuss says, okay, sure. As Tonga and 4LOM show up with the hyperdrive part. And that is where the issue ends. I find it amusing that they put Dengar on the cover, yet Dengar doesn't show up in the issue at all. Not even in the background. But interesting start to things. Kind of Crimson Dawn epilogue. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Dr. Aphra number 30, which ties into Hidden Empire. So during the Hidden Empire finale, Dr. Aphra, still possessed by the Spark Eternal, showed up and fought Vader. Vader defeated the Spark-possessed Aphra and seemingly expelled the Spark Eternal from her. But we get more of what happened. During the space battle, the fleeting arrived and to save Aphra. Seeing her have the spark expelled from her as the Fermata cage opens. However, Aphra's droids are also there, providing problems for Aphra's rescue party. But Aphra has Sonic use the Null Sword and stab Aphra with it to expel the spark. It seems to do the trick. But it's made clear that Aphra won't forget Muriel, who created the spark 200 years previously. And, well, it seems everything is alright. And that is where the issue ends. Well, it was pretty clear from the point that Aphra got the Spark Eternal that, yeah, she was gonna... that it was not something that was gonna last, but... nice wrap-up. And I guess I kind of prefer Aphra without it. It's more fun. The stories are more fun when she's in control, after all. Moving on, though, to our last book for the moment, we have Star Wars Ewoks, continuing the Return of the Jedi inspired one-shots. Much like on this, we simply get 3 Ewok stories, which are actually largely just visual. The first one, The Walkling's Tale, brings back a race from the old cartoon Ewoks, which aired in the mid-late 80s, alongside droids. That race being the Duloks. The Duloks were another race native to Endor that were regularly in conflict with the Ewoks. But a young Walkling has befriended a Dulok, much to the chagrin of their families. But they are eventually... this eventually brings the two families together. Next up, we've got Paplu's Tale. While hunting in the forest, a forest monster ends up going after a Ewok hunter and making a meal of said hunter. And finally, we have Pikpa's Tale. During the Battle of Endor, Pikpa took bits and pieces from damaged Imperial vehicles, armor, and so forth, and tried to make a ship out of the headpiece of an ATST. Ship is made and lifts off, and well, that's doesn't say what happened. So, aside from that, fun little book. There's actually scheduled to be quite a few Return of the Jedi, or at least a few more Return of the Jedi one-shots. Next month will be Lando. Then in Also next month will be the Empire. In July, the Rebellion, and in August, Max Rebo. These are fun, and it's a nice way to celebrate the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi. Anyway, that is going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.